Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to the community VAIR for Winning Dreams. We are going to discuss a very important topic, which is 6 tips to master Tissnet Parajumbles. So as all of we know that year after year, the importance of Parajumbles in the Tissnet examination is only increasing. And due to that, it is very important that we master this topic. In order to master it, we are going to simplify it into 6 very easy and basic methods. And I'm going to share these secret methods with all of you today. So let's get ready and let's get started. So these are the different types of questions that you can expect from Parajumbles in your Tissnet paper. So it is either 4 or 5 or 6 sentences. So basically either you're given options A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F or A, B, C, D, E. So 4, 5 or 6 sentences which need to be arranged. You are given options as well. Since Tissnet is completely multiple choice questions paper, you are given 4 choices to choose from. And these are combinations, say A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A, B, A, C, D, C, A, B, D, whatever. So you can choose any of the answers. All jumbled sentences. So they might give you all sentences which are jumbled. And again, they might be 4 or 5 or 6 sentences. There is one lead sentence and the rest of the sentences might be jumbled, which means there's one fixed sentence and you have to choose a continuation sentence to that, and there will be 4 sentences or 5 sentences post that. The other type of question is one lead sentence and one fixed or closing sentence. So there is a lead sentence, there is an end sentence which is given, and the sentences in between there are options of say A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, 4 or 5 sentences which need to be arranged in the correct order so that with the lead sentence and the closing sentence you form a coherent passage. So when the types of questions are clear, I'm going to discuss this very short mnemonic, which is of 6 letters, and I'm going to share these 6 tips. OctGen. So OctGen, what does exactly this stand for? So O stands for opening sentence. So one of the biggest cues in parajumble type of question is picking up the opening sentence. Now, when you pick up the opening sentence, it becomes very easy for other sentences to fall in place. For example, let's look at this parajumble. Watched over him with the simple. This does not look like a complete sentence or a sentence which might begin a paragraph. Of his disease. So of is giving us a very big clue of his disease, that whose disease and of what. So this might also not be my opening sentence. Now, if I have eliminated the idea of A and B as my opening sentences, I can eliminate options which have A and B in the first place. So I can eliminate option 3 and option 4 from here. Now I'm left with 2 options. One begins with C and one begins with D. So once they understood the seriousness, okay, once. So when we usually begin stories or sentences with once upon a time, once they understood, dedication only a sibling could feel for another. Dedication only. So if I see option C seems like the perfect opening sentence, now I can eliminate the first option as well. So let's read it in this sequence and see if this makes any sense or not. Once they understood the seriousness of his disease, Lee's brothers and sisters watched over him with the simple, direct dedication only a sibling could feel for another. So, by just looking at the first sentence, by understanding what my opening sentence could be, I have been able to unjumble the entire paragraph and form successfully a coherent paragraph and choose the correct answer here. So this was our first tip. Let's see what the second tip is. So like opening sentence, the next hint lies in our closing sentence or the chronology, or for that matter, the couple sentences, or what I would like to say, mandatory pairs. So couple sentences are also called mandatory pairs. And the chronology has time clues. Come, let's look at it with the help of an example. So when we read sentence A over here, we know that none of the options have A over here. So A cannot be my opening sentence. So should I waste time reading A? Not really. However, I can see on Monday. Now, if I see sentence B, US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton arrived in India on Sunday for strategic talks aimed at bolstering bilateral ties and securing firmer support for the war in Afghanistan. All right, this sentence does look like it is introducing the subject of Hillary Clinton, who has arrived in India. All right, now Clinton arrived by plane in Delhi before noon. So, Clinton, now when you see Hillary Clinton is being referred to as Clinton over here. So, this does look like the opening sentence. B does look like the opening sentence, right? And Clinton, right after this, helps us understand that Hillary Clinton is being referred. Now, Hillary Clinton has not been referred anywhere in sentence A. So, by that means, I am now sure that B and C are my couple sentences or my mandatory pairs. It has to come together. So, I will look for options which have B and C together, which is the case only in option 2, where B and C are together. Now, after reading that Hillary Clinton has arrived on Sunday, what does sentence A tell me? Come, let's read it. On Monday, the Secretary of State is due to hold a day of meetings with high level political, military, and business figures to further a strategic dialogue aimed at further expansion of US trade in India. This sentence does conclude everything that has been spoken about in sentences B and C. And since we know that B and C are couple sentences, another C that comes into play over here is the closing sentence, which is why I am now sure that option B is my answer for this question. Tip number 3, a few things which are very important from the Parajumbles point of view is the transitive words. So words like however, nevertheless, clearly, in conclusion to, really change the direction in which the topic is proceeding. So these words help us understand that okay, fine. However, she will be coming to the party. However, she will be late. So when we have however, we know that it is going to go in the opposite direction. So accordingly, we need to choose whether this will be the first sentence or the second sentence. It makes it really easy for us to understand that it has to be a continual sentence. When you understand that, it becomes easy for you to eliminate that choice from the given choices because it cannot be the opening sentence. So these are called transitive words. They are a huge help and they give us great hints in the examination. Moving to the G of OctGen, which is generic to specific. So as it is usually said, we first talk about the garden, we then talk about the trees, and then we talk about the fruits. So it is very simple. We always talk about the class, then the species, and then we come down to the examples. Similarly, that is the approach you should use in order to unscramble these sentences in a paragraph. Let's look at an example over here. There were a lot of books kept there, a lot of books. Some were from history and some from mathematics. So I first have to pick up the class over here. So books is generic and then I will say some from history and some from mathematics. This helps me understand the species. Like the species, they belong to the category of books. So this sentence B will succeed A. So it will be A and B in this order. Tip number 5, very easy. It is simple. Example follows hypothesis. Now, whenever we say Sheena has won at every race she has participated in. For example, the 100-meter, the 150-meter, and the 300-meter sprint. in this case, we first talk about the hypothesis. Every race she has participated in. Then we give examples of the race that she has participated in. So examples will always come after the hypothesis. So example follows hypothesis. So whenever there are examples in a paragraph, you have to understand what is exactly is it representing. Pick up the hypothesis that will always come before the example. And very important and very simple trick, the final, the N or P of the ocgen. So Michael loves football. He plays really well. So he over here refers to Michael. The pronoun always succeeds the noun. Sometimes such easy and simple clues help us with questions which are as complex as the parajumbles. So to revise, ocgen, O is for opening sentences. C is for closing sentences. To check the chronology or time clues. Or couple sentences or mandatory pairs as I like to call them. T is for transitive words, the words which change the direction of the paragraph, like clearly, in order to, in conclusion to, however. G, very simple, generic to specific. We always talk about a subject which is generic and then we go on to the specific parts of it. Fifth one, example follows hypothesis. So we first talk about what is the class of which we are providing the examples of, which is called the hypothesis, and then we provide the examples. And finally, nouns or pronouns. This really helps to understand and gives us clue what could be the opening sentence or what has to come first and what has to come later. All right, that brings us to the end of this very helpful and very short trick of how to solve parajumbles. Use these tricks and let me know in the comments below if it worked for you. All the best.